There is a mountain that took 30 million years to rise. Somewhere on Earth, there is a peak so cold, no bird has ever flown over it. This is not just a story about rock and ice. It's a story about patience. For millions of years, before the first human ever walked upright, before the first word was ever spoken, the Earth was already writing its longest story, one written not in ink, but in stone. That story is the story of mountains. Today, we are going to climb through time itself, through fire, ice, collision, and silence, to understand how mountains were born, why they still matter, and what they can teach us about patience, pressure, and the quiet strength it takes to rise. Welcome back to Bright Mind Channel. Let's begin. Long before mountains touched the sky, the Earth's surface was calm, flat, young, and restless underneath. Beneath our feet, giant plates of rock, tectonic plates, drift slower than a fingernail grows. But over millions of years, that tiny movement becomes unstoppable force. When two of these plates collide, they don't stop. They push. They fold. They lift entire layers of ancient seabed thousands of meters into the sky. This is how the Himalayas were born. When the Indian plate crashed into Asia nearly 50 million years ago, the collision never stopped. Even today, Mount Everest grows a few millimeters taller every single year. Think about that. The tallest point on Earth is still rising, still becoming. Mountains are not finished monuments. They are still being written. Not every mountain is born from collision. Some are born from fire. Volcanic mountains, like Mount Fuji or Mount Kilimanjaro, rise when molten rock magma forces its way up from deep inside the earth, cooling and hardening layer by layer, eruption after eruption, century after century. And then there is ice, the quiet sculptor. Glaciers, slow rivers of frozen water, carve valleys and sharpen peaks over thousands of years. The dramatic, jagged shapes of the Alps were not created in a single moment. They were carved slowly, patiently, by something as soft as snow. Fire builds, ice refines. Together, they shape the giants we see today. Mountains have never simply stood in the background of human history, they have shaped it. The Alps once stopped armies. Hannibal famously led war elephants across their frozen passes, losing many, but proving that even the impossible had a path if one dared to search for it. The Andes gave rise to the Inca civilization, who built entire cities like Machu Picchu into the mountainside itself, using the peaks not as obstacles, but as protection and pride. In the Himalayas, monasteries were built at altitudes where the air itself grows thin, chosen deliberately because silence lives easier where the world is higher and closer to the sky. Mountains have always tested us, and in that testing, they revealed our resilience. Even today, mountains are not just geography, they are metaphor. We say a person is moving mountains when they achieve the impossible. We say we are at the summit when we reach our highest goal. We even measure struggle by asking, how steep is this climb? That's because mountains teach something no flat land ever could. That greatness is built slowly, under pressure, layer by layer, and that what looks unmovable from a distance can still, quietly, keep rising. No mountain woke up tall. Every peak we admire today was once flat ground that simply refused to stop pushing upward. So the next time you feel like your effort is invisible, remember Everest, still rising a few millimeters every year, unseen, unheard, but never stopping. Mountains don't rush. They don't announce themselves. They simply keep becoming until one day they touch the sky. If this story moved you, make sure you're subscribed to Bright Mind Channel, where every week we uncover the quiet lessons hidden inside history, nature, and the world around us. Until next time, keep rising.